So chapter 8, today chapter 8 of Becoming Breatharian, and it starts with physical healing. Physical healing is the healing of every part of the body. It is the absorption of nutrients in the depths of the cellular structure of the body. It is where one is aware of the true state of well-being and where the face can reflect perfect health and happiness. Physical healing comes with a lot of thought to the nutrition we subject ourselves to. The need for nutrition from heavy foods has been generated by our surroundings, and nowhere does it reflect in our practices of awakening deeper consciousness. Physical healing is also the prevention of surroundings that hamper our physical and mental state of being, and the ones where the mind and body have the difference in alignment. Physical healing is the attainment of divinity in the body and the process of treating the body right in all ways possible. Physical healing is being aware of your existence and appreciating your body that houses your mind. For effective physical healing, one is supposed to bring together the mind, body, and soul in perfect alignment, such that all three are benefited mutually from each other. Now, have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt that your mind, your body, and spirit just came into one accord? You know? Like they were striking the one note, the one song, the universe, the one chord. Like they just all came into alignment. Have you ever felt that? Physical healing is also a lot more about the development of consciousness and understanding the energy of the universe and embracing it in its most refined forms, thus allowing oneself to experience what is beyond the understanding of the human mind. It is more about maintaining mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being and achieving the highest state of consciousness. Wow. What is the highest state? That's just to imagine. What would that be like? The highest state. Prayers, meditation, and embracing silence will only help you in achieving physical healing faster. At the cellular level, the transformation will be tremendous and will leave you rejuvenated. The impact is so great that the entire DNA structure also undergoes healing and repair and makes you a better version of yourself. I definitely remember when we spent 10 days in silence at a Vipassana retreat. We meditated for 10 hours a day for 10 days in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, for a Vipassana retreat, and I definitely felt rejuvenated. I definitely felt more vibrancy. I definitely felt a lot more vitality, but I also felt like I was a better version of myself, like I was upgraded somehow, like Jerome Shaw 2.0. No, actually like 3.0. That's what it felt like. And there was no talking. It was just silence for all that 10 days. But you came away feeling like you really got a lot out of it. And then when I came back into society, I realized I didn't miss much, but I had gained a lot more than I had ever thought possible. In just that short span, just that short amount of time, just that short duration, we raised the vibration. So yeah, it was upgrading, yeah. you received the uploads and downloads and light codes, right? Physical healing is often unachievable in cases where a person is too negligent about themselves or is surrounded by negativity and not appreciated. Like they say, you know, success can feel like a breeze in the right environment, but whatever endeavor can sometimes feel almost impossible in the wrong environment. You know, distraction is like the opposite of traction, right? When you think of a train going down or a locomotive going down these tracks, when they get off track. That's distraction. You've been distracted. And sometimes when you're in the wrong environment, you don't have a support system around you. You don't have people who can shift you. You don't have people who can lift you. You don't have people who can gift you with their loving presence, with their loving, kind compassion, with their empathy and understanding and acknowledgement and listening and just giving you an ear. But if they project all their fears, if they project all their worries, their doubts, their disbelief on you and your process, that's a little distracting, right? That's a little counteracting. Physical healing also cannot happen when a person is not mentally strong enough to guide themselves on the right path and decide what works best for them. So just having the willpower or the mental fortitude to have the stick-to-itiveness, to stay on course, to stay on track, right? That focus and concentration sometimes feels hard to come by. Especially in this day and age with, the advent of so many distractions. Whatever is our action will have an opposite reaction. It is more about making the right choices for your betterment. If you refuse to see the good in yourself, no one else will. Ooh, that's a good one. Let me say that again. If you refuse to see the good in yourself, no one else will. How true is that? I remember so many times where people didn't value me because I wasn't valuing myself. People weren't respecting me. I wasn't even respecting myself. People paid me no mind. People wasted my time. But I was wasting my own. I didn't unconsciously let these things be made known because what was shown to others was grown within me. So when you have that self-esteem, that self-image, that self-confidence, that self-concept of yourself, that unconsciously is projected to everyone else, right? Everyone has a different version of you in their minds. But if you have that assurance, that is what they will find. Only when you are physically sound can you think of embracing the higher order that controls the mind and directs the soul. To put it in simpler words, physical healing is nothing but attaining atonement in the mortal state of our existence. I don't know if those are simpler words. Attaining atonement in the mortal state of our existence. All right, Akahi. It is looking beyond our general life to delve into a new universe of self-learning, self-love, and self-appreciation. Achieving atonement can be the major reason why people strive to attain physical healing in its purest forms. Now we move on to self-love, right? Put nothing else above your own self-care and your own self-love, right? When push comes to shove, you got that self-love. Self-love is the greatest kind of love. It is the first and foremost understanding of self. It is where we truly become ourselves and give back the same respect to our mind, body, and soul that they have given us since the very beginning of our existence. All solutions to well-being begin from treating oneself right. Wow. So it all begins with you, right? It all begins with you. One should be thankful for whatever one has and must not be apprehensive of what more could be. That's gratitude right there. You know, they say when we are grateful for what we have, we get more to be grateful for. Isn't that an interesting mystery of the universe, one of the mysteries of life? It's like when you're grateful for even the small, it affects the all. And when we are grateful for what we have, in abundance, we get more to be grateful for. It's like a multiplier. It just keeps on growing. And then you look around and it just keeps on showing. It's amazing. So, treating oneself right, being thankful. One must appreciate the wholesome experience a human is in totality and must not indulge in what could be better. Ooh. Does that hit you? It hit me a little bit. That hit me a little bit. We consciously, we indulge in what could be better than this, right? Now, I think there's a difference between imagining the possibilities. There's a difference between, okay, I can be grateful for what I have, but I can also imagine that this is not it, that things could be better, that there could be more to explore. And our imagination does create magic in that way. But it's different than not being grateful for what we have today. To not be able to say that all is well and okay, and to embrace life your own unique way. You have to be your own benchmark. You have to understand what ignites your mind, body, and soul. You have to find your true calling. This is where true love begins. True love is self-actualization, realizing why you are important to yourself and your surroundings. This is nothing in the world. There is nothing in the world that will appreciate your existence as much as you yourself do. For no one can understand your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, and mental understanding as much as you do for yourself. You have to clear your brain of any thoughts that hamper your personal growth. Let go of people who do not believe in you and your actions. Surround yourself with friends and family who are truly interested in your well-being and are not just superficially connected to you. You know anybody like that? Sometimes they call them energy vampires. Like they can suck and siphon the living life force out of you. It feels like it's just hanging, It's just the monkey on your back, right? You're like, But there are people out there that are part of your tribe. And you find them by raising your vibe. They say your vibe attracts your tribe. When you keep it alive, not just trying to survive, but so you can thrive, right? Try to collaborate with your thoughts and find deeper meaning in life, far beyond the one you are leading right now. You are so much more than you can imagine. I believe that. Do you receive that? You are the hidden pool of consciousness. You were made to be a larger human who is enlightened and has achieved true meaning in life. What would you say is true meaning in life? For you, what would be fulfillment? Understand that each person has a different reason and purpose of existence. No two are the same, and all stories are different. That's why I love talking to people. Because everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. You never know what word someone might have for you and how their story can complement your story, how their picture can help you put your picture together. I love talking to people for that reason, just for that reason alone. It is only when we truly learn to appreciate our differences and our uniqueness amidst others that we can reach complete attainment of self-love and self-appreciation. That's interesting. Now, happiness is a highly subjective term, right? Happiness is different for many different people. The parameters of happiness may be different for different people. Here we go. It is quite understandable since no two people can have the same priorities, the same choices, the same opinions. So, happy birthday. So will their happiness differ. You as a person have to find your own source of happiness. No one can buy it for you. You have to look around and see what makes you happy and leads you to overall contentment with your surroundings. Find what makes your heart really delighted. Kind of like, I remember Bashar talking about that. You know, follow your highest excitement to the best of your ability for as long as you can with no attachment to outcome. That was one of the greatest advice I've ever heard. Just follow your highest excitement to the best of your ability for as long as you can with no attachment to outcome. There it is. It is like, what? Is it that easy? It's like, yes, it's that easy. Are you really? It's that easy? Yes. I just love it. But we would rather make things hard. You as a person have to find your own source of happiness. No one can buy it for you. You have to look around and see what makes you happy, leads to your overall contentment with the surroundings. Find what makes your heart really delighted. What is it that you will never compromise for anything in life? That's a good question. What is one thing that you yourself would never compromise? That you're like, this one thing, you know, everything else I can compromise, but this one thing, no, not that one. There must be something. We all have that one thing that makes us go content and delighted and takes us to a place where everything appears achievable and where there are no fears of losing out on anything. Right? What would you do? What would you do if people's opinions didn't matter, their judgment didn't matter, criticism didn't matter, if money didn't matter? What would you do? If it didn't matter, if none of it mattered, what would you be doing in life? What would you find fulfilling? What would you be more willing? Our happiness is a result of positivity mixed with appreciation of whatever has been bestowed upon us. I like that word, bestowed. Bestowed upon you. Happiness can come from the very basic sight of a puppy stealthily sleeping under the blanket of the mud, trying to safeguard itself from the cold. Happiness can be sitting in silence for a few minutes, all by yourself, without any worries, without any tensions. And it can also be the process of generating appreciation, right? Whatever you appreciate, appreciates, right? For others' improvement and being a part of their happiness. Ooh, I like that. You know, I want everybody to win. You know, whatever their winning means for them, whatever success means for you, I want that for you. Because I want that for me, you know? But I truly desire for everyone to achieve their goals, their ambitions, their dreams, their visions, their premonitions, like the things that you have within you that no one else knows. The places that you've always wanted to go. The things that you've always wanted to know. The being that you've always wanted to grow. I pray that you receive that. I pray that you believe that. Happiness is of core importance and it cannot be neglected in any case. Happiness comes only when you are truly appreciative of your existence in whatever form it has been bestowed on you. It is detaching oneself, that's not easy, from the unnecessary and forming close bonds with minimalism. That's not always easy, huh? Detachment. The monks and nuns I used to stay with, they called it detachment power. Like, detachment power. They would see like detachment as powerful, free from desires, like free from, you know, that like I have to have this, I need that, right? You ever felt like that? Like you were just so attached to certain things you couldn't let it go? But that's part of allowing more of the flow when we can actually let go. So they taught me, the monks and nuns taught me, they said, there's such a thing as detachment power, right? I said, what is this detachment power? I want to learn this power of detachment. They said, come Padawan, we'll teach you. You do not require fancy stuff to drive you to happiness. Happiness comes in small things around us. Those who look for happiness in materialistic things are sooner or later likely to lose track of their real purpose in life and are quite likely to remain trapped in their incessant search for true happiness. Wow. You know, that movie by Will Smith, I remember Will Smith and Jaden, years ago, it was called The Pursuit of Happiness, right? And it's interesting, you know, we do fall into that. We do fall into that, especially here in the West. I think it might even be more of a Western philosophy, but there's always something to pursue. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself or desiring, you know, things to be better if you're in circumstances that are less than ideal. But go by how you feel, and that will reveal, you know? Just like an onion, we start to peel back the layers and we're like, what do I actually want? And if I got it, would it be enough? And can I start by appreciating what I have before I reach out and try to grab? That's a good question. True happiness is your door to achieving divine consciousness. It all begins from here, and it will all end with you attaining peace, calm, and a true state of happiness. Now, I feel like happiness comes from inside. I am of the school of thought that you can't really get happiness. It has to spring forth from you, you know. But to each his own. You will be able to see astonishing changes in the way you perceive things, and soon you will be able to differentiate the good from the bad and keep only those things that help you develop as a person. Do not delay your happiness. There we go. I like that. Find it now, and under no circumstances let it go from your reach. Your happiness will guide you home and will ignite your soul. Conscious evolution is the last stage of real enlightenment. Enlightenment refers to finding the true purpose of existence and resonation with the energies of the universe. What would you say is the true purpose of existence? Just curious. True consciousness is letting go of any unwanted emotion, doing your best to sink all your energy to develop positivity, and aligning your desires with finding your true self. Consciousness evolution is a subtle process that requires slow and steady practice to reflect a changed self. A self that is more aware, conscious, and appreciative. With consciousness, evolution comes the deep understanding of the life around us, and we learn to distinguish different elements in the surroundings, kind of like the avatar, right? Different elements, and their significance to us. It is the state where we do not see the undesirable in anything, but realize that maybe that thing is not meant for us. One tends to develop a whole new perspective on life and does not give in to judgments or opinions. It is the highest form of calling, where we are driven towards the higher purpose in life and not just the one to merely exist and waste our lives. Now, do you feel like someone could merely exist? Do you feel like someone could be in resistance or just have a mere existence? Do you feel like anyone's life could ever be wasted? If there are certain joys that have not been tasted, if they are themselves and not copied and pasted, if there are certain things that they have not faced, if there are certain things that they cannot erase, but if there are certain things that they must embrace, could life ever be such thing as a waste? Comment down below, let me know. We are so much more than mechanical systems running on fuel and water, doing daily activities in the most mundane way possible. I agree. Consciousness development calls for dedication, willingness to be out there, and realizing that it will take way more than just a few exercises, diets, and meditation to get there, will it? These will definitely bring you closer to them, but it is your own choice and dedication to attain the heights of consciousness development in your system. Nothing will come to you easy. Well, I don't know about that. It is time sensitive and requires utmost patience. But you know what? When you come closer to achieving your goal, you will be filled with sudden understanding of yourself, and nothing will entice you more than your newfound purpose and your newfound confidence. Self-consciousness in no way relates to being selfish and becoming unaware of others in your surroundings. It is merely paying more attention to your awakening for the purpose of finding your true self. It is a way to observe oneself in the closest forms possible, thus generating understanding of oneself like no other. You are your own savior and your own guiding light. Do not be afraid to find out what lies beyond the ordinary, and you will be amazed at how exciting finding the self can be. So that concludes today's chapter. That was chapter 8, I believe, of Akahi Ricardo's book. It's called Becoming Breatharian. And thank you so much just for listening as we've been continuing these readings, as we've been proceeding, realizing that we have all that we've been needing, right? So thank you just for listening. These wisdom of the ages from one of today's modern sages. This has been Jerome Shaw on the Pranic Pages.